Hey, welcome. This is my art segment. I'm Max, that one geeky art guy, and we're going to make origami little paper cranes today. I felt like doing something a little simple than just showing off all my skill all at once. I figured we'll take things step by step together, and just to show you guys that we can just be casual with art. We don't have to be like too extreme with it. I am a little rusty at paper cranes, as you can tell. They're little bents in places, and they're not all standing up on their own. But I used to do this when I was like in high school. It was a lot of fun. Now we're just going to move those aside for now. And we're going to make some more. Now you can do this a variety of ways. You can take some little post-it notes. You can make them that way if you can't afford paper like crazy, or you can just like cut up some copy paper like I did because I can't afford folding paper. You can make them in a variety of squares. I like to try to make them big as possible because that'll help the folding. And I cut this one a little janky, but that's okay. We can work with this. That's more than fine. Anyway, let's get folding. I'm excited to do this on camera. I as you could see, I had practiced that off camera, so that way I could get into the folding habit for you guys. Alright, so what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to make a star pattern across the thing in the form of creases. What you want to do is crease the paper in half first, and then you take it and open it, fold it right back in on itself, crease it. Our creases are going to be our guiding lines, our little guidelines on how to make this crane the whole time, because without it we won't be able to make this effectively. And then we're going to make a little cross section between the line we just made, and don't be afraid to touch the paper like I am. I mean, you shouldn't get a paper cut from it until we get a little plus symbol in the middle. Be sure to fix up your little cross. Make sure the crease is good, because without our creases this is going to mess up. Yeah, anybody can fold paper. This is just a fun pastime I do sometimes. I used to do in high school. It was a lot of fun. When I couldn't have my cell phone, I had paper, and that's what I did when I was in an art class. So sometimes I did that when I went to college too. So after that, we're going to fold it like this. We're going to fold it a third time across the way, where we can make a little bit of a weird triangle. And we're going to flip it around and do the same thing again. We really got to make sure these creases are good, because without our creases it's just going to look weird. And if you're not doing exactly how I'm doing it, then it's okay. This is your paper crane, it's your rules. But this is just the basic guideline of how to make paper crayons, cranes. But you're also going to do this another time. We really want to put a star pattern. We're going to zigzag across the paper in order to make this crane come to life. Okay, with that being done, we should end up, after we fold the paper twice, because we've got to get those creases, you should end up with something like me. like this. We have our little star. Now that we have this, we can move on to the next step, which is you take this and you kind of want to bend it in on itself, or at least try to. You're going to have to do what I do with my pinkies, which is like this. You take your pinkies like this, do it like this. Try to bend it in on itself. If your creases are really good, like mine are not, hold on, let me fix that crease because currently I cannot crease it. Bend it in on itself. Yeah, it's okay to do it like a puck size too. Alright, now that I fixed the crease a little bit, let's just bend it in like so. If the paper will cooperate, like this. And then, yes, you end up with a square, but this square is different because it ended up doing something like this. It folded in on itself. We have now this. And now that we're at this step, we're going to lay our little square down like so. And we're going to take this end. Sorry, I've got dogs here. Forgive them. They do not know what they bark at. We're going to bend our paper like so. And we're going to do a kite. Kind of like a kite formation. And we are going to do the same thing on the other side. And then you should get something like this. Not exactly like this, but every paper crane looks unique. Mine is just going to look a little janky, but it's okay. We're going to flip it, and we're going to do the same thing again. Until we get our little kite on both sides. And now that we're at this part, the back, this is going to be the back of our crane. We kind of want to take that back and fold it towards us. And then we're going to take that and do the same thing on the other side until we feel like this has been creased enough. Because remember, our creases are our guiding lines when making this crane. It will dictate how the crane will look. Basically, you're doing this on both sides. And once you feel confident that your creases are good enough, you can stop, place it down, and start unfolding again. Flip that back to what we had before, our little square. We're going right back to the square formation. Don't fold it, don't press it down too much, because we're about to move on to some of the more complex steps. Alright, I'm going to fold this weirdly for myself, but I need you guys to be able to see this. So we're going to take this part right here, this little flat, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to try to fold these edges in on itself. Let me just get this a little bit started because it's kind of hard to do that in reverse. Yeah, we're just trying to fold it in like this into another kite or diamond. It's okay if you flatten it down a little bit because we're not using traditional origami paper, and God, those dogs are loud today. Yes, we are flattening it down a little bit because we don't have traditional paper, so we're going to have to do and make do what we've got until you got something like this. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, this one might be actually easier than the last one. Make sure to follow the creases to help smooth out your diamond. It's okay to flatten it a little bit, and if it looks a little janky, that's okay. That means this is your paper crane. This is your special crane that you made yourself, and it's your it is of your make. Until you get something like this. this is what you will end up with. This is the diamond step that we are at now. Alright, now that we're here, you should notice now that you have little leggies right here. Or ears, whatever you prefer. We are going to take these little leggies and we're going to fold this like this. Let me just fold it so you can see how it will look after we fold it. You're going to want to fold it like that, right here. This is how you want to fold it. And you're going to want to do that on each side and front to back, essentially. Where you kind of want it like this with the leggies. And you're going to do that on the other side as well. So let me go ahead and do that so we can get to the next step. And I hear if you make 1,000 of these, you may get a wish. That is a Japanese folklore store, I believe. I think I read something like that when I was in high school, but I cannot remember for the life of me what that story was about. But I know it was about a little girl in a hospital. Someone in the comment section below, can you quote that for me? Because I forgot what it was. Alright, now that we have our dangly legs a little bit more skinnier for the wedding night, we're going to have to bend them like they're it's time for the wedding night. We're going to bend it in like this. We're going to bend the legs like this. Just like this in the wedding night position. And you really want to take the creases and just kind of crease it in place. And you're going to take the little leggies and you're going to do the same thing on the other side, because this is where the last couple of steps are coming in, because these are the more trickier parts and these are the most important creases. These are your heads and tails, by the way, if you didn't know. Now, we're going to unfold that, and when you feel confident enough, like I do, you're going to open up this little bit right here all the way. Make sure you kind of follow the guiding lines you've been making this whole time, and you're going to reverse fold that in just like so, kind of like a hot dog, and just kind of flatten that in. Make sure you smooth it out a little bit at the tip. And you should have something kind of like this. Okay, and you're going to want to do it for this one as well. Just like before, you kind of smooth it out, following the guidelines, and you want to bend it forward as best as you can. Oh boy. And you kind of want to reverse fold that in. Oh, it's getting janky, because this is not proper origami paper. And if you're like me, you're going to have to smash it in, because we couldn't afford proper paper for this. So we're going to just not too forcefully, because you kind of want to keep your origami together. And you should have something like this, kinda. Oh, hold on. Maybe I can fix it a little bit. As you can tell, I'm a little rusty with origami. But it's okay. This is our paper crane. This is going to look the way it's intended to look. Okay, it's going to be beautiful. Trust me. Alright. Now that we're at this step, we're going to fold the wings toward us. Like so. We're going to bend this part. We're going to take this tip, the top of the tip, and we're going to bend it towards us. And then kind of down like that, like you're flattening out something. Kind of like that, like a tongue. And then we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. These are our wings, essentially. And now we're at the final step, which is deciding, the last two steps is deciding where you want the head and tail. I want this to be the head. And we pull our beautiful crane out slowly, not too tight, not too harsh, and you got your crane. And it came out not too bad. And now we can bring the whole flock over, and I have ourselves a couple more paper cranes joined with our other paper crane we just made together. Thank you guys so much for joining me along in this art segment of mine. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and hit that bell notification if you want me to keep doing this, because I'm going to do all kinds of art projects. This is just one of many. Well then, see you later. Stay geeky, guys. Bye.